Welcome everyone. Today's video is going to be coming back home. So sometimes we just don't feel at home in our bodies. And most of the time we don't even notice that. The only thing we know is that we probably feel like engaging in some coping mechanism that's maybe not ideal. So maybe you want to give yourself these 15 minutes to come back into your body, come back home, ground yourself after the stressful day you've had. And then after that, if you still want to engage in those coping skills that you know, I think that's okay. However, maybe this space opens up some other ways to deal with situations. Maybe calling a friend after, or cooking a nice home cooked meal, or going out with to play, whatever that might mean for you. All right, so let's get started. You'll need a bolster, something else that you can use as a bolster, rolled up blankets, etc. And I have 2 blocks. You can also use books or some kind of elevation. You can also use 2 meditation cushions. All right, we're gonna start lying on our backs. And knees bent. Maybe you already feel like sighing. Good. And before we get into more stillness, your arms can be anywhere you want. We're just going to release. There's different ways of shaking, and this is one way of shaking. So you can shake standing by bending the knees and extending the legs quickly, but you can also release and shake in constructive rest. So basically, I have my knees bent, and I'm already starting it. I'm pressing into the feet quickly, and then letting go. I'm pressing into the feet quickly and letting it go. And this doesn't happen if you're trying to like sort of hold on in your butt area. So you gotta unclench your butt, release the belly, and let the whole body shake and blob. And maybe your shake it's a little faster, maybe it's a little slower. We all have our own frequency and vibration. Just tuning into that. And the arms can be anywhere you like. They can be overhead, they can be next to you, they can be on your belly. And if you feel like making weird noises like I am, you can do that. You might notice that at some point your body wants to change the rhythm. Now I'm going a little bit quicker, a little bit smaller movements. It's like a sigh, or you can also think of it as humming. Maybe humming feels better. Now I just noticed that my thighs were getting a little bit tired, so I'm just like barely pushing into the toes. Movement is still traveling up. Maybe you want to look to one side. Maybe slightly to the other side. Good. And slowly coming back to center. And letting this shaking or this movement naturally find its organic ending. No need to stop it right away. Might be tiny movements still happening. At some point the body is okay with stopping and then just noticing maybe that has already changed the way you feel inside your body. On this earth, lying down here looking at the ceiling. And from here, we're going to go into the laziest twist. Let's bring both knees over to one side to come into a fetal position. Maybe you want to place the forearm, just making sure my mic doesn't get squished, onto The forearms, right hand onto the shoulder. You can start to draw some circles. Maybe they're really, really small circles to begin with. And then maybe over time these circles get a little bit bigger. And then you can bring your right hand onto the shoulder or top hand onto the shoulder and start to draw some circles. Maybe these circles are really small to begin with. You're really just articulating in the shoulder. Maybe over time they get a little bit bigger. And you feel you're coming into a twist forward. Slight twist backwards. Oh, and I feel a crack. So just organically letting the spine travel with, initiated by the movement of the shoulder. Good, and next time the elbow is pointing back, maybe you want to stay there, hang out there. Maybe the arms want to rearrange themselves. Not an official pretty twist, just airing out the right shoulder, the right diaphragm and chest. And we'll lazily, reluctantly go over to the other side. Fetal position on the right side. And then again, nice small circles to begin with. And maybe these movements start to get a little bit bigger and you might feel your chest closing, your chest opening. And whenever you feel ready, you want to stay open in this twist, you can. I'm sort of changing the position of the legs so I have some counterweight. If this is too much, you can stay dynamic if you like. Nothing's being forced. You're just coming back, connecting. All right. And then we'll close the body again. So that from there we can come into a tabletop position or onto all fours. Spreading the fingers, knees underneath the hips. And I'm just starting with small circles. Just feeling that the hands are grounded. One direction and the other. And from here, maybe your body says, I want to focus the circles on the bum. Maybe the bum needs to circle and move. Maybe the spine starts to move. Maybe it wants to arch. Maybe it wants to round. You can close your eyes. And just move freely. Just being curious. The body feels heavy and you don't want to carry so much weight in your hands. Just shift your weight back. And if on the other hand, your body wants to move and grow and do all sorts of things, you can let that happen too. No one's judging you. No one's here to grade you. Maybe you want to come into a downward facing dog quickly or smoothly. Everything you want to do in this hands, feet, position. And what I do might look really different from what you do. What you do might not be symmetrical. All good. And eventually making your way nice and easy into a child's pose. Good. So you have two options here. Some people don't like to bring the knees together. We want some support underneath the belly. If that feels crappy on your hips, you can widen the knees and place a bolster there. Head can look to one side or the other. Or if you want to keep the head centered, that's fine. If you need some space for your nose, you can place the hands down. I'm going to gaze over to one side for a moment. And in this position, the shoulders don't have to do anything. And you have the opportunity to really breathe into your belly. The breathing into your belly spreads into your back because the belly is supported by the bolster or your thighs if you're in a more close-legged child. And the hands don't have to do anything to be palm down, palm up, something in between. Letting the breath travel up and down. Like it's rocking you and soothing you. And a release, sort of deep back muscles. Sacrum. Coming back to your body. And then we'll slowly get ready to come back to seated. And then we'll already move into our last sort of posture. I'm going to be in Setu Bandhasana, however, restorative. So I have the blocks out in front or towards the foot end of the mat, so that the heels are roughly on the same height as the bolster. If you really want lots of hip opening, go ahead, but otherwise it's nice if the hips and the legs are more or less in one height. And I'm allowing the heart to sort of melt down so that the tips of the shoulders are touching the ground. I'm slightly too far down, so now this is good. If your upper back needs a bit more support, then you can also just place a blanket underneath here to have a bit more height. And you can put your arms in cactus position. You can do that. This is a heart opener as well as a tiny bit of an inversion. So the heart's a little higher than the head. So I'm getting all the benefits of an inversion without having to do a crazy headstand and shoulder stand. Getting some openings through the heart. I'm going to lift my heart up a little bit more. There you go. And I can continue to drain everything through the shoulders, through the head, into the floor. And if you like, you can do like an imaginary alternate nostril breath. So you can imagine that from the left hand, left toes, you're breathing in through the left side of the nose into the third eye. And through the right side, hand, leg, body, nose, you're letting everything pour back out. Breathing in your imagination from the right side into the center of the body towards the third eye. And then exhale out the left. Do this a few more times. Inhale from the left. Going at your own pace, exhale from the right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Maybe a few more times at your own pace. Allowing the diaphragm to expand. And letting this imaginary alternate nostril breath sort of just wash you side to side, like the ocean waves coming and going. Both brain hemispheres finding their balance. And you coming back to your own temple. Good. If you feel good here, you want to hang here for a little while longer, you can. Otherwise, I promised you 15 minutes. So you could start to bend your knees. And then you can press the feet into the ground. Move the bolster out of the way, and just for a moment, without anything underneath you. Back where we started, constructive rest. And then you can slowly roll over into one side. You can hang out there for a moment, no need to rush. And from there you can slowly sit up. And in your favorite seat of your choice, checking back in. Just as important as doing these practices is sort of evaluating them now, later, in 6 months. What supports me, what doesn't support me. I'm going to close our practice here today. Thank you so much for joining me and hope to see you soon.